based off the ultra famous, arguably best novel by Taylor Jenkins. The Fleetwood Mac vibes are gonna emanate. I wanted to, when I think of this show, and it comes out March 2nd, I believe, on Amazon Prime. When I think about this show, I think of kind of like how talent is this like blessing and a curse when you're living in a world that of no, where people go out of their way to make sure you don't believe in you and kind of see your talent as something for them to use to build their own. Like you don't need it, like you or don't want it. Or if I make sure you don't see it, then it only becomes something that's visible and actually worthy to me. Or even if you see it, if I make it small enough, you will give it to me because I'm the bigger one. It's such a crazy thing to live in a world that basically says it's a meritocracy, but we all know it's not. It's a competitive world. It's a comparison world. And Daisy Jones and the Six, we get to see how this may be in the 1970s, but it's now in themes. Riley Keough, I believe is her name. She plays Daisy Jones, and immediately she's just so charming and sweet, and I think she radiates. I'm finding you. I want this session, by the way, to be all about luck and self-love, because I think what this series showed me is that you get lucky the more you love yourself, because you become open not only to the universe, but to those that will see you are the universe. You, in loving yourself, you not only will become more selective in who you allow it into your space, on who you think love you and how they should love you, but you will attract people who actually do. There's something really great about walking down the street and seeing someone who's smiling and laughing. If you're a good person, a loving person, you're immediately attracted to that person who's just walking, even if they're a stranger, and like smiling and feeling good. Good energy radiates. And the minute you meet Daisy Jones, what with Riley, the actress, emanates is this feeling that this is a really good person who hasn't been treated well in life. And because she knows she's good, doesn't mean she treats herself as good. She knows she's talented. She knows she's fun and she's pretty and she's cool. And yet, for however much she knows it, she doesn't feel it. She doesn't realize it. And without doing that, she keeps on getting into really toxic relationships and these kind of plots and twists within the music industry and within real life. Because it's not just when she becomes famous or tries to be an artist that things hit the fan. It's just before. She knows from the beginning that her destiny is music. And it's a beautiful thing, a child. It's always so exciting when children know what they want for themselves, like a determined child. And you could tell, like, this isn't, oh, mommy, I want to be an astronaut. It's like this kid knows they're going to be a doctor or they're going to be a singer. They just feel it. They feel it. They feel it. It's something, this internal map is guiding them. And we meet Daisy, and she's just so talented. She has a connection with music that is romantic almost, escapist. And on the other side is Billy, played by Sam Claflin. And part of why their relationship, which obviously the series focuses on, because it's like a documentary series, and there's a lot of flashbacks and cut to interviews. It's like Behind the Music VH1, and it's so good because I am such a cheeseball for music documentaries. I just love how formulaic and melodramatic they are. They're so good. I love them. And this totally fills that, you know, the typical, oh, are we going to talk about that? You ever see like documentaries where like everybody's talking about everybody, and it's kind of like, yeah, Daisy was an incredible talent, and I remember the first day we met each other. I love that stuff. I eat it up. I'm gonna use some rose quartz, and I think this is diandrareviews, which is about abundance, and this is about love, self-love, and we're gonna just clink away any blockages in terms of love and abundance that you may have, because I feel like when we meet Billy, he shares that same energy as Daisy, which is why they hit each other like two galaxies crashing in. There's this feeling of my whole life, my dreams were my escape. If I made my dreams come true, that's when I would be valid to both myself and all the people that invalidated me by not giving me their love, by not protecting me, by in fact hurting me, or not stepping up to their roles as perhaps my mother, my father, my friend, my brother, my sister, my aunt, my uncle. There's so many people that will enter our lives and not love us right. And it does affect us. It does hurt us. It does make us believe that we can't do any better, because sometimes we continue toxic behaviors and choosing toxic people, not because we think we deserve them, but because we are genuinely convinced that there's no one better than them for us or out in the world. It's like, I guess I take the misery I know as company, because there's another misery, right? At least I know this misery. At least I'm accustomed to it. And part of why we really pity Billy, despite his toxicity and his manipulativeness and his lies and his issues, is that we know he shares the same core as Daisy, even though she's a way better, kinder person. They both have this idea, very false idea, that if they become big enough, they'll actually feel big enough. They'll actually feel good. And they'll attract all the people that didn't love them. Or maybe the ones that actually will. But fame and fortune is a lie. And I'll tell you why. It's a lie because fame and money do help. I don't know why people act like money hurts, in the sense of it doesn't bring happiness. It does. It brings a level of safety. It brings a level of happiness. And even if you have more and you get the most money, there still is danger. Someone will always try to come for it. It'll go up and down, ebbs and flows. So yeah, money is always a burden, but it's always safety too. And it's always happiness. And it's this weird duality. And I think that part of why we're disappointed with fame and money is because we act like it doesn't have a duality. We act like it's perfect and it's validating and it's going to fill all those gaps that we're supposed to spiritually fill by just throwing material things at it, you know? I mean, when you're sad and you go shopping, you do feel better. It was a nice distraction. You got some new things, but the sad will creep in again. Fame, I mean, my God, it must feel awesome to have somebody go up to you and say, your song changed my life. Your movie moved me. But if you don't feel moved or changed by yourself, that moment will fill you up and then crash you. Because then you go back home and you're like, wow, I'm empty. I guess, do I have to do more movies? Do I have to do more songs? What do I have to do to feel full as me? When I have it all and when I don't? How can I have both at the same time? And you gravitate to Daisy and Billy because they are the leads of this band, the Six, which, by the way, like, absolutely great performances. Suki Waterhouse, I think Camila Morricone. Like, everybody has absolutely fantastic performances as people, really good people who have enough solidity and stability to be troubled by Daisy and Billy, in the sense of, imagine if you have this brilliant boss who has a lot of personal issues, and for however creative he is, and for however well-paying he is, there's still this feeling of every time I'm around you, I walk away with like lower energy. I walk away with smut on me. Even if you're kind to me, you just emanate and always bring this negativity to you. And I don't know how long it will be worth it that you bring me fame and fortune. And that's what I love about all the people around them. They're kind of like, you're good enough so that I know that you could be great, but you're not great because you never feel good enough. And you make me pay for it by the ways you self-sabotage yourself and in turn sabotage me. Because somebody who hates themselves, people say when you hate yourself, you can't love others. And that is true. I mean, think of all the times you were sad. We're just going to scrape you. Think of all the times you were sad and depressed. And think of how you behaved towards others those days. Were you kind? Were you good? Did you try in some ways to be loving? I can be honest, and I can put myself as an example, scraping you. I'm not a mean, depressed person, but I'm also kind of like, you could tell I'm sad. I'm not exactly Mrs. Fun. And even if I'm fun, there's just a feeling of like, are you doing this because you want to go on the roller coaster or because you want to fake it till you make it? Because even that you feel. And that's what I loved about Daisy Jones and the Six and why it's so real to the music industry. I don't care what era, 1960s, 70s, 50s, 40s, 80s, 90s. The minute fame began to exist, I think everybody who suffered, and that's a lot of people, everybody who had a lot of unfair injustices and traumas and prejudices was attracted to it. Because the idea that the world I hate or I feel hates me, or both, loving me, praising me, thinking that I'm good, thinking that I'm changing it by my presence, the idea that that world would appreciate me finally. What? Of course I'll take fame. But does it? Can you be appreciated by a world that doesn't know you? Can you feel appreciated if you don't want to know you? And Daisy and Billy, for however much money, fame, and talent they have, because they are, the music of this series is a Fleetwood Mac greatest hits. I mean, it's just like ding, ding, ding. Yes, yes, yes. The music of this film and just those scenes where they're performing really give you the sense of what being a great artist is. And the scenes of them self-sabotaging, hurting themselves, show you the dangers of being a great artist who's not an okay person. You're not doing well. You're actually doing bad. And I love that because I always tell artists on the rise, and you can check my website, diandrareviews.com, where I publish consistently artists that I know are going to be big or should be big, or at the very least might make you feel big. One thing I tell a lot of artists is that it's not validating. That pressure you feel to get your streams up, to get more clicks and posts and shares, all that pressure you feel is kind of like a taster to the fact that fame isn't validating. There's always more fame you could get, or more stability that you could get with your of your fame. But as you just stay in the loop of competing and comparing. And that's the thing that makes you unhappy in the first place. You can't see you. You can't see you without seeing others. You can't see you without looking for something else. Fame and money are great. You can't deny that. They bring you some cool stuff. But they don't bring you you. And if they do, that's not good. So, we're going to sweep you up with some seashell abundance. This is for love and luck. Daisy Jones and the Six comes out on Prime Video March 2nd. And I think it's worth a watch. I do wish that it wasn't like one episode per week, because it's a binge show. It's a show you watch like I believe it's like 8-10 episodes. It's a show you watch all at once. It's not, I thought the first few episodes were good. Like the first episode was good, but it wasn't like, oh my God, like I'm just gonna see this and wait a week. Like it wasn't the fastest, most immersive thing I've ever seen to be one episode a week, because it really starts picking up typical 4 or 5 episodes in. So give it a chance, be a little patient, because that whole weekly plan that they have, I didn't think it was the best, if I was gonna be honest. If you want to wait till all episodes are out to binge it, I wouldn't be mad at you, because it's a show that like in one day you just see all their lives, and it's worth it. Daisy Jones and the Six. Check out diandrareviews.com. Bye.